famous for being the ultimate martial arts, was obtained by Gu Feiyang through sheer coincidence. Ah yes, that plot armor finally kicking in. Now, reborn as Li Yun Xiao, he finally gets the chance to try out this body tempering technique that's supposed to be the strongest one known to man for the first time ever. Though, the boy's entire being soon starts to feel like it's getting ripped apart, making him realize why Ao Chang Kong was so powerful. Regardless, Yu Xiao musters up the courage to continue using the body training technique as it will enable him to reach the level of a martial king even without opening his meridians. Being the third strongest among the 10 great martial kings himself in his past life, Yun Xiao pushes through the pain. Talent, determination, courage, I lack nothing, proclaims the boy, activating the first form of the tyrant body technique called Moonlight. Suddenly, a sharp jolt of lightning flows through his entire body, sending him rolling across the floor in immense agony. Getting slammed into the nearby wall, Yun Xiao coughs up a bit of blood. However, his pride won't allow him to give up as he once again activates the Moonlight form. Nah, dude gotta be a masochist. The next day, Yun Xiao arrives at the Academy's gravity training grounds, noting that his body will massively benefit from the gravity chambers thanks to having the body training technique as a foundation. Though with seeing the other students walking around makes him feel nostalgic about the good old days, when he was just a normal fighter like them a few decades ago. As per his body's current limitation, Yun Xiao arrives at the teleporter for the tenfold gravity chamber. Getting transported there, the boy starts huffing and puffing right out the gate, suffering a drastic effect on his body. Had it not been for the former 9th tier refiner's mental preparation, Yun Xiao would have already crumbled. Dragging himself the stairs, he sees that a lot of people are waiting outside the 200 training rooms. Using Universal Detect to spot the training room that is about to get freed up, Yun Xiao quickly marches towards it, beating the other trainees who had been waiting there for ages. Needing to grasp the Moonlight form quickly so that he can withstand the force of using medicine to open his meridians, Yu Xiao begins heading inside the training room. However, he gets stopped by Yu Hezheng, a peak martial disciple with 7 of his meridians opened. "You just got here, right? Let me have this room," remarks the latter, only to be told that he should get lost. Witnessing this, the spectators start gossiping about how shameful it is for a top student like Hezheng to get burned by the noob who hasn't even opened a single meridian. This irritates the peak martial disciple, who warns Yun Xiao not to embarrass him and tells him to just use his name in case anything comes up in the academy from now on. Bro really thinks he's him. Of course, Yun Xiao ends up reiterating his earlier words in an even more condescending tone. Suddenly, Hezheng starts laughing like a maniac and bursts forth his wild energy. Amused at the fact that piece of trash without any energy fluctuations dares to speak in such a manner, the peak martial disciple vows to teach him some rules that new students must abide by. Witnessing Hezheng burst forth with an immense energy, the other trainees start glazing his feet. The peak martial disciple announces that he is in a good mood today, so he will only break Yun Xiao's ribs instead of ending his life. Hezheng roars out only for the boy to simply walk away. Noting the former's technique to be concealing Tiger Fist, the latter tells him that his attack's form is strong but lacking in the imposing spirit required for it. Already shaken up by this remark, Hezheng gets irritated further by the spectators' commentary and leaps to finish off Yun Xiao. Turning around in his snap, the former martial king unleashes his dragon-like imposing presence, leaving Hezheng feeling like he is the one in danger. An overwhelming feeling that a dragon is about to eat him whole. The peak martial disciple ignores what his entire being is telling him and looks to crush Yun Xiao with brute strength alone. Much to Hezheng's dismay, the boy grabs his wrist to stop the attack and lands a crushing blow on his right arm. Sighing in disappointment at his weak body not allowing him to finish off his foe, Yun Xiao decides to make do with just making him lose an arm. As Hezheng and the spectators wonder how someone without any meridians open is so strong, Luo Lan Duo arrives at the scene, telling the peak martial disciple to give up on the training room that he was going to get for her. So, robot beat up for simping deserved. The imposing girl compliments Yun Xiao for training his techniques when he can't strengthen himself, only to say in the same vein that a technique without power is unfit for any use. As the boy says that she isn't wrong, Lan Duo announces that he will never beat her and questions why he puts himself through all this, given that his future is bright regardless as the young master of the Li family. Hearing this, the other trainees recognize Yun Xiao as the infamous Trash, who chased Lan Duo relentlessly and only gave up after getting beaten. Turns out, before Gu Feiyang's soul awakened in his body, Li Yun Xiao is rejected by Lan Duo, getting told that she will think about it only can defeat her. He Zheng starts laughing at this revelation, only to shut up instantly after just a quick glance from the former marshal. "If there's nothing else, I'm going to train," announces Yun Xiao, slamming the training room's door shut in their faces. "That's my Giga Chad." Even after a few moments go by, He Zheng is still unable to stop himself from trembling and questions why a single glare from the Li family's trash has made him lose his will to fight. To rub salt into his wounds, Lan Duo co-signs Yun Xiao's words about the problem with his concealing tiger fist technique, leaving him with a burning fury against the boy. Elsewhere, Yun Xiao marvels at the centuries-old black iron statues, thinking it to be remarkable that there's people who follow the path of the tenacious. He then gets ready to start his training, noting that it will take him about 10 years to return to the Nine Heavens realm after opening his meridians and fusing his Yuan energies. Going crashing into a wall, Yun Xiao realizes that the effect of the body training technique has multiplied under the tenfold gravity. Shrugging himself off, the boy notes that he will be able to reach the physical level of a martial apprentice within 3 days at this rate, granting him at least a 60% chance to successfully unclog his meridians. And so, Yun Xiao begins his brutal training once again. Meanwhile, the story of him defeating Yu Hezheng with a single blow gets spread throughout the tenfold gravity chamber. 3 days later, Yun Xiao exits the training room, covered in wounds. Seeing the battered and bruised boy, the other trainees get motivated to work hard. Right then, one of them shouts out in shock. Everyone gathers to see the commotion, only to be terrified to find that the black iron stone statues that they had been practicing on for years have been blown to pieces. Afterwards, Li Yun Xiao examines his now strong and muscular body, whose scars have already healed completely. Having experienced firsthand that Ao Chang Kong's body training technique is indeed the best one of its kind, the boy looks to use his newfound physical strength of a martial apprentice to attempt some refining. After all, obtaining just a few low-level pills will accelerate his cultivation speed greatly. Sometime later, Yun Xiao is walking when he feels someone's arm coming towards him. With his eyes closed, the boy grabs the incoming limb and slams the person it's attached to onto the ground. My guy really unlocked Ultra Instinct in there, though it's just poor Hun Bai. As he worries that his arm might be broken, Yun Xiao jokingly says that it only fell off, insisting that it's not his fault that he snuck up on him. Examining his friend's limb, Yun Xiao questions why he is there. Hun Bai remarks that he wanted to test him out a bit since he was acting a little odd the last time they met. After confirming that Yun Xiao has somehow gotten this strong without opening his meridians, Hun Bai informs him that teacher Luo Yunshang has been looking everywhere for him. "Luo Yunshang, why is that little girl looking for me?" inquires Yun Xiao, suddenly popping Hun Bai's dislocated arm back into place, almost pulling out his soul along with it. Lil Broing the teacher is insane, wondering if Yun Xiao has lost his mind referring to their teacher as a little girl. Hun Bai suddenly leaps onto him. He announces that the boy might be in big trouble, as Lan Fei has disappeared these past few days to cultivate in seclusion and break into the First Origin realm. "Calm down, it's just the First Origin realm," remarks Yun Xiao, once again confusing Hun Bai with his unconcerned behavior, considering that with this, Lan Fei has condensed his Yuan Qi and broken into the ranks of a real martial warrior. Hun Bai then starts shaking Yun Xiao, questioning how he can say it's just the First Origin realm when his friends have been worried sick for him for days. Suddenly, Yun Xiao grabs his friend's shoulder and declares that he has something more important that he needs him to do. As Hun Bai wonders what could be more important than the threat of Lan Fei, Yun Xiao proclaims, "Lend me all your money," wanting to buy pills with them. Surely, he is talking about cultivation pills, right? The former fulfills the latter's request and begins heading out, confirming if he is really not worried at all. Giggling like an idiot, Yun Xiao tells Hun Bai that he is so worried, but there's no point in it in the end, joking about returning the money only if he is still alive. Relieved that the boy can still laugh even when things are this bad, the friend commends the change he has gone through recently and gives up on worrying for him. Right then, a kick that shatters even the massive wooden door sends Hun Bai flying at Yun Xiao's feet, followed by a bloodied and unconscious Chun Jun. Of course, this is Lan Fei's doing, who now marches towards the former 9th tier refiner. "Li Yun Xiao, how dare you touch my men?" questions the martial warrior. Brimming with his sinister aura, Lan Fei then vows to cripple him completely. While Du Feng and Luo Jiyao glaze their boss, Yun Xiao checks up on his friends. Feeling relieved that they don't have any life-threatening injuries, he provokes Lan Fei, remarking that he isn't special just because he can glow a little to show off. The martial warrior questions if Yun Xiao will bow before him for his mistakes, or if he will have to cripple his arms and legs first. Cripple me? How interesting, mutters the reincarnated soul, declaring that it's been a very long time since he has heard such an arrogant statement. Walking towards Lan Fei, Yun Xiao unleashes his intimidating glare. With this, the martial warrior is overcome with an inexplicable sense of uneasiness and fear. My God, you be having that effect on people. Lan Fei instantly charges forward to attack, absurdly feeling like he would never have the courage to strike if he doesn't do it now. Complimenting his foe for being decisive and unambiguous, Yun Xiao raises his heavy sword towards him. How dare you mock me, declares the former, bringing his blade down on the latter with all his might. Having blocked Lan Fei's assault with his heavy sword, Yun Xiao gets pushed back and his weapon suffers a crack. However, even after all this, he still doesn't lose his footing. This leaves Lan Fei baffled, making him wonder how such trash managed to withstand his attack. After all, even if he were a martial apprentice instead of being a martial warrior, there should have been no way for someone who still hasn't opened his meridians to block an attack that Lan Fei unleashed with 120% of his strength. Is that a Jujutsu Kaisen reference? Suddenly, Yun Xiao lets out an exhilarated laughter, announcing that it's been a long time since he fought with his full strength. Remarking that Lan Fei's sword slash felt really satisfying, the boy invites him to strike again so that he can give him a few more pointers. Gritting his teeth at this comment, the first Origin Realm martial warrior furiously unleashes the Lan family's flowing cloud slash technique. However, Yun Xiao looks completely unimpressed and criticizes Lan Fei for messing up the technique, giving him pointers on how to execute it properly. "Shut up and go to hell," replies the enraged foe, not standing for the patronization. Declaring Lan Fei to be extremely lucky to have gotten advice from him, Yun Xiao swings his heavy sword with an immense weight and intercepts the incoming attack. With this, he disarms the martial warrior, sending his blade flying into a nearby wooden frame. Should have just listened to bro. No. As the battle concludes, Yun Xiao assumes a relaxed stance, exuding an aura of confidence. Meanwhile, Lan Fei trembles in defeat, unable to come to terms with the fact that a martial warrior like him would get defeated by trash, who hasn't even opened his meridians. Right then, Yun Xiao kicks Lan Fei right in the face, launching him into a wall. While the martial warrior is still trying to process what just took place, his underlings shout at him to be careful. Suddenly, Yun Xiao brings the heavy sword down inches away from Lan Fei's moneymaker. Snapping back to his senses, the latter manages to stutter some words out of his trap. "Wah, what are you doing? Yo, you dare touch me." Leading into this remark, Yun Xiao mockingly replies that he is oh so shaken up from the big, strong attack earlier that his hands are numbing and making him unable to hold the sword properly. Realizing the implication of Yun Xiao's snarky response, Lan Fei tells him to remove the sword. The boy was too lazy to settle his previous score with the martial warriors, so he was willing to let it go. However, Lan Fei had now injured Chun Jun and Han Bai, aside from making an attempt on his life. Am I supposed to just let this slide? Questions Yun Xiao, edging the heavy sword closer to the foe's crotch. With this, Lan Fei tries begging for mercy, promising to do anything in return for his bird remaining intact. Bro is desperate to continue his generation, already wearing diapers from their last encounter with the former 9th-tier refiner, Du Feng. Luo Jia and even the others who didn't see their previous humiliation start trembling in fear. Yun Xiao then tells Lan Fei to give him some money if he wants to keep his manhood intact, ordering his numerous underlings to pay up if they want to live as well. After emptying their pockets, Lan Fei and his lackeys ask for permission to leave. Suddenly, Yun Xiao spots an expensive-looking jade pendant around the boss's waist and takes it off him. "I can give you anything else, just not this jade pendant," exclaims the martial warrior, getting an annoyed look from the former 9th-tier refiner. Albeit feeling scared, Lan Fei explains that the protection jade pendant is a generational treasure in his family. As there are only 5 of it to be worn by the core members of the Lan family, the pendant is a symbol of status, meaning that it would be of no use to Yun Xiao, but extremely important to the martial warrior. La just straight up lying now. Hearing this, the reincarnated soul gives Lan Fei a choice. Since the latter's underlings had barely any money to give, the former will make them all end up like Du Feng and Luo Jia if he can't have the jade pendant. On the other hand, everyone can leave peacefully if Lan Fei lets him have it. Obviously, The jade pendant is more important to the martial warrior, but he could never look his lackeys in the eyes again if he